How many of y'all knew Larry Krasner from Philadelphia was in the bed with George Soros? Soros put nearly $1.7 million in Philadelphia, Philly's DA's race, right? That was in 17. Which was who? Larry Krasner. I seen you in that photo yesterday. You thought I was gonna forget you, Larry Krasner? Hmm? That's why Philly be selling out. They got all these goddamn real devil players that's running the show in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? He got them all in line, y'all. Soros heavily invested into these motherfuckers, y'all. Then y'all wonder why these motherfuckers out here capping. They most definitely got Philadelphia lined up. You know what I mean? Larry Krasner up in Philadelphia capping for George Soros. He's George Soros' young boy. Motherfucker getting crumbs off the plate. Like I said, most of these motherfuckers are getting crumbs off the plate, turning the other cheek. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? These the motherfuckers y'all elect. But y'all have no clue. Y'all need to start researching their donors, y'all. See what their donors about. You understand me? Start with that. Stop listening to these niggas, y'all. That got y'all out here voting for your own demise. I keep telling y'all that. These motherfuckers not here for y'all. They got an agenda, y'all, that they trying to pass, y'all. Pay attention, y'all. See this, ladies and gentlemen? Keep telling y'all this shit, man. This who's running the show, ladies and gentlemen, for the Dixiecrats. He's trying to reshape America. That's what it's about, y'all. The liberal billionaire George Soros spent at least $40 million over the last decade. Come on, y'all. Wake up, peoples. See? Why George Soros and the Democrats? Wow. Told y'all who running the Democratic Party. George Soros. They put his name in front of the Democrats. It says, why George Soros and the Democrats have gone all in on this week Wisconsin court race. That's where E at. E in Wisconsin dumping bread. But once again, George Soros trying to take over all the court systems, y'all. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Y'all gonna look that up. This was published March the 30th, 2025. This motherfucker trying to buy the whole. They all in the bed with George Soros, y'all. Hey, KRASNER. Wow. Amazing. It's a money race, y'all. It's a money race, peoples. That's all it's about. That dollar. That dollar bill, yeah. So now we know why that house nigga was capping for his massa. Right here. See that? In the bed with the goddamn devil. Larry Krasner. I know he couldn't have been trusted. He looked like he can't be trusted, though, ladies and gentlemen. They got to deal with him in Philadelphia because they all part of the go along, get along gang. But we all know that dude ain't to be trusted. Look at him, man. Motherfucker look like one of them dudes from the 60s, man. Look. Like one of them dudes in the 60s that drove around in the Cadillac on them back roads and shit. You know what I mean? Larry Krasner. You know what I mean? Paid for by George Soros, one of his flunkies. See? Bunch of them house niggas. Same niggas that was out there capping. These DAs, y'all. That's paid for by George Soros. A Krasner. A Larry Krasner. Remember that mook right here that was violating them young boys? What happened to the case? Krasner. Crash dummy. That's that mook right there, y'all. That was violating our babies in the streets of Philadelphia. And they swept it under the rug, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing else was heard about the case. This mook right here. Mook. Krasner ain't nothing but a hoe. As they would say, a whore.
Else here, a Philadelphia transgender activist identified as Kendall Stevens is now charged with sexually assaulting 2 children under the age of 13.
Action News reporter Annie McCormick, she's live for us outside police headquarters with the new details we're learning about this, Annie.
Yeah, Gray and Shari, disturbing details. Kendall Stevens was arrested today for the rape of a minor. Sources confirm that she is the same Stevens who is a prominent LGBTQ activist in the city. The state attorney general's office filed charges tonight against 37-year-old Kendall Stevens. The charges include the indecent assault against a person less than 13 years old, rape, unlawful contact with minors, sexual offenses, and endangering the welfare of children, parent, or guardian. Stevens came to Action News in August of 2020 after she was attacked in her Point Breeze neighborhood. She says she was targeted by a violent group for being a trans woman.
Yeah, right.
Stevens then became a prominent activist for the LGBTQ community. She urged lawmakers to change Pennsylvania's hate crime statute to include protections for LGBTQ people. She is seen here in March of 2021 at a press
with your mans and them, Larry KRASNER. He passed the bill for her, for him. He was definitely passed the bill for this moot that was in the community messing with our babies. And that's why them kids attacked this bitch ass. Because they knew he was in the motherfucking community messing with our motherfucking babies along with this. Look how this motherfucker built. You know this motherfucker, something ain't right with this motherfucker. You know what I mean? All mooks up there with this motherfucker, man. All mooks. That's been heavily funded by George Soros. And that's a fact.
To include protections for LGBTQ people. She is seen here in March of 2021 at a press conference launching District Attorney Larry KRASNER's LGBTQ Plus Advisory Board. The board was created in part to be a source of information and resources for victims and survivors of crime within the community.
It means to me that the transgender population will finally get the support that we need from city officials that we really haven't gotten historically.
Sources tell Action News the charges are in relation to the rape of 2 young boys under the age of 13. Stevens remains in custody tonight. A spokesperson for the district attorney's office said in a statement, the investigation of allegations against her is being led by another agency, and as such,
why
we
another
have no
agency?
comment.
God damn it.
Now, Judge Ditzep.
Why another agency? Why not the same agency in Philadelphia that's prosecuting our babies in the streets and shit for violence? God damn it. What you mean another agency? And then we ain't never heard nothing else on the case, ladies and gentlemen. Hold these people accountable, y'all. What happened with the case?
Bail at $250,000. The next court appearance is scheduled for December 29th. Often, the state attorney general's office takes on cases from local district attorney's offices if there's a conflict. For now, reporting live outside of Philadelphia.
Here's the mook here, y'all. You know why? They moved it because motherfucking Larry KRASNER in the bed with that mook. With all these mooks. He in the bed with all these mooks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why they switched the case out of Philadelphia. Because he in the bed with these mooks, man. Look at that mook. Who would want a mook like this watching their kids, man? Someone that's desperate, that don't have no one else to watch their kids, will let this mook watch their kids. Straight fucking mook, man. This motherfucker ugly as a motherfucker, man. Straight up. I've been keeping it all the way foggy with y'all. If y'all ain't gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. This motherfucker is ugly as a motherfucker. Now let's listen to the victim's family about this mook.
Prominent LGBTQ plus activist is facing charges. Kendall Stevens, who was the victim of a violent assault back in 2020, is accused of raping 2 children. Shayna. Well, Sheba, as you mentioned right there, Kendall Stevens has been a very prominent figure here in Philadelphia, a prominent trans activist serving notably on the district attorney's LGBTQ advisory board. But this recent affidavit that
KRASNER
I
shit.
obtained details disturbing allegations
let
of
him
rape
mook
and
him and
abuse
George
of two
Soros.
minors. We spoke to a
They probably
family
had
member
Kendall
exclusively.
Stevens
We're keeping
running
her
a
identity
threesome on that
anonymous out of
motherfucker mook.
respect for the alleged victims.
George Soros,
She's
Larry
a family
KRASNER.
friend who has been around since they were born. The aunt of two young boys opening up after what court documents allege was repeated sexual abuse by a person her nephews knew as Aunt Kendall. You had this aunt stature in their life, whereas they're going to look at you and think, I don't want to tell an adult because I don't want something bad to happen to Aunt Kendall. Prominent Philadelphia trans activist Kendall Stevens stands accused of rape and sexual assault of two young boys ages 9 and 13. Stevens is known for her vocal activism surrounding LGBTQ issues, serving on the district attorney's advisory board, and most recently made headlines back in 2020 after she survived a brutal hate crime in her Point Breeze home.
It wasn't no hate crime.
But an affidavit obtained by
Them
Fox
kids
29
knew she
details
was messing with
disturbing
them little
allegations
kids
of
in there.
multiple sexual encounters with the young
Y'all
boys.
want to tell a story?
The
Tell a
family says
story,
Stevens
goddammit.
was a close family friend. We were able to sit them down.
Ladies and gentlemen, what happened with the kids on the streets that beat this mook ass because them kids in the community knew this mook was messing with kids inside the crib, y'all. See, the news don't give y'all the 411. They just give you a half-ass story to make themselves look good because they all support this LGBT mook shit. But what happened, ladies and gentlemen, the kids knew in the community, like in any community you go to, the kids know what's going on in them communities, especially when kids are being violated by fucking mooks.
Individually is when they start, breaking down and telling the truth and crying and saying everything that happened. She says when she and her mother approached Stevens, she didn't deny it to us. She didn't deny it. And she tried to flip the story as in my nephew tried to kiss her first. He's 9 years old. No, he didn't. The family member, speaking anonymously to Fox 29, says the emotional toll this has taken on her family has been devastating. I feel like she was grooming my nephews. My nephews has definitely endured a lot. Despite that, she says her family won't back down on their fight for justice. I don't want her to be able to use this reputation and think that that's going to be able to get her out of this situation because what she did to my nephews is unbelievable. Now, we did reach out to the law firm representing Kendall Stevens, and they did get back to me. They said that they fully look forward to fighting these charges. They say she is enjoying her constitutional rights, including the presumption of innocence. Also, an important note tonight, the district attorney's office is not handling this case. They passed this along, actually, to the attorney general's office. They offered no comment tonight. Kendall Stevens.
Hear that? Larry KRASNER passed it off, y'all, because he's in the bed with that mook, y'all. These niggas in Philly are mooks, man.
Is expected to face a judge on December 29th. Live at CJC, Shayna Ferreira, Fox.